Let's do the numerology for the 5th of August, 2023. If you add all those numbers together, you get the number 20. And if you add the 2 and the 0 together, you get the number 2. The number 2 in yogic numerology is called the number of negative mind or critical mind. It is the number of the mind. It's the number where we have a tendency to overthink things and try and figure out answers, sometimes to questions that we don't really have the capacity to understand the answer at the time. And so in yogic numerology, this number 2 is the duality in which we live. It is this dimension in time and space. It is about the thoughts that interrupt and cause us to doubt. Sometimes our mind is not our friend. Sometimes we overthink a situation and it talks us out of taking some risks in favor of the familiar rather than trusting the flow of things and let them unfold in their orderly and yet somewhat chaotic ways. I learned many years ago that listening to my mind was not always the best way. I learned that feeling into the flow of things seemed to make no sense to my mind, but that when I allowed my feminine intuitive self to have the reins of my life, that things seemed to magically open in ways that often made no sense to my rational mind. It is difficult to trust the chaos of life and allow what is unfolding to flow and show us things in ways that we did not think would work. The older I get, the less I need to control situations. I see those that are frightened by not having the control and then mistakenly think that now their life does not hold the same value that it seemed to have before. But I also have learned that my value is not in what I do, but in who I am, and that everyone has a powerfully deep value just by being. When we let go of those things that our cognitive mind constantly demands of us, that is when we discover that our entire other reality is just past our mind's habits and patterns that allowed for safety and to feel as if we have some sort of control over our reality. Today, notice if your mind is seeking to find a reason or a way to control situations that are beyond our understanding, beyond our current level of awareness, and beyond even what we currently want to do. Times change. That should be very obvious at this time. We are in a place where much will change rapidly, and the best way to allow each of us to find a flow and to discover how to move with the river rather than try to control the flow of that river. Let the mind go for a moment and allow yourself to discover what is out there for you to explore. External explorations will always lead us to internal discoveries, and adventures are more interesting when they fully engage our body, mind, heart, and spirit, and wisdom is gained more rapidly in such moments. When we recognize that life is a personal growth workshop and allow it to show us what is yet to be discovered, that is when we feel the aliveness coming back into this life. Thanks, everyone.